Started. We knew, it's all over. I mean, put out the dogs and call in the fire. The hunt's over.
In the Rose Bowl, the Raiders crushed the Vikings, 32-14. For an owner, a coach, and a team who had always battled negative images of their city and of themselves, receiving the NFL's symbol of victory was nearly as sweet as the victory itself.
Al and I hugged in the locker room 5 minutes after the game, and I said we finally did it, and his reply was, "Can you do it again?" Al.
It was the single biggest event in my life. And I'm talking about marriages, I'm talking about babies. And I love my kids, I love my wives, I love my mother, I love my father, but as far as an event, winning that Super Bowl was huge.
San Francisco basically tried to ignore that Oakland existed, and which of course made Oakland nuts. And so with the football team, they had something that San Francisco didn't have, which was a champion with an identity, with that fit Oakland's entire personality. That's when they could really stick it in their eye and say, not only are we your equal, we're your better. And this is what proves it.
You go around the world and you say the word Oakland. The next word is, oh, you mean where the Raiders play? I said, yes, exactly. That's exactly where Oakland is. It's where the Raiders play.
I think we liked wearing that hat. I think we liked wearing those colors, and we liked being from Oakland, the other town across the bay from the city. We liked that little area and that little 55,000-seat stadium. All those blue-collar crazies in there. Everything fit. The type of player, the colors we wore, the style of play, the fans, how. We were hard to beat in there.
If it hadn't been free agency, we'd have won every year. We'd have won till 1980. Won till we retired. Nobody would have beat us.
I think that the people of Oakland could look and say, whatever anger we have at the rest of the world, these guys are an example of what we really are. We like what we see out there.
The rebellion, the militant attitude of the Bay Area, Oakland Tide, East Bay, the Black Panther movement, the protests at Berkeley. If you look at our football team and our baseball team, the Raiders, the Fighting A's, our teams reflect our community.
They saw us as rebels. They saw us as mavericks because we were always on the edge of something. They saw us as going against the grain, and that's what they were doing.
The whole atmosphere was electric. It was alive. The war had ended as far as we were concerned. We were going to party, and we did. They reminded us that by winning and winning and winning, we had won. Just because we were in an isolated corner of the country in the Bay Area didn't mean that we weren't strong and didn't mean that we didn't have power.
You have to know what Oakland is and what Oakland was. And, it was kind of downtrodden. And it was, the underdog. And we were all the underdogs. They used to laugh at Charlie Finley. I mean, they made fun of us in the American football. They didn't win championships, they don't make fun of you anymore. I think some of them want to jump in the bandwagon.
Bring on New York. Bring on LA. Bring on Chicago. San Francisco, please, don't even think about it. But it was a sense that we might not be huge. We might not be giant. We're mighty.
For a rebellious city that had always been seen as second class, it was a remarkable time. The often wild, sometimes frightening, and frequently joyful years that helped shape a nation had been fueled by the East Bay's energy. And the success of the rebels of Oakland was proof positive to those in the city that they did not always have to live in someone else's shadow. The spotlight could and did shine on them. This has been a presentation of HBO Sports, the network of champions.